Coming up on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show.
How can I enjoy life if things don't go right for you? You know what I'm saying?
She'll be at meetings with the attorneys and she's like, let me just trade places with Jen, please. Let me do this, not her.
We've got to stop saying things like that to each other.
And it goes well beyond prejudice.
What does that even mean? What do you mean?
Okay, Meredith, where are we going?
She needs support and friends, and I can't be that right now.
I knew I could not possibly be that kind of a friend to her. Do I love Meredith? Yes. Did I agree with her in that situation? 2,000% no.
It's insulting to give someone a used item.
Oh, they're not used. They're brand new.
Good God, Jenny, you know not what you do. Put the shoes away, put the shoes away.
I'm not your charity case. I can afford my own goddamn shoes.
She's mean-spirited, and she doesn't mind it.
I love Jenny, but I think she's very, very loyal to Lisa, and Lisa likes her minions to do her dirty work.
Your Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show starts now.
Heather, you were surprised when Jenny told you she was going to return Mary's gift at Whitney's event.
What is this? A gift?
Mary Boots.
Why?
Give it back to Mary.
But here at Whitney's party?
Yes.
I thought, good God, Jenny, you know not what you do. Put the shoes away, put the shoes away.
See, and I was the exact opposite. I was like, yes, Jenny, yes. Like, finally, someone has the courage to stand up to Mary.
At Belle, you handed me a gift, but the way it was given to me, with my culture, it was very insulting because it was like a re-gift.
Do you think that it was of Jenny's will, or do you think that Lisa had goaded her into doing that, though?
If you were to ask me that back then, I would 100% say that was Jenny's will. Fast forward to today, right now, months later, 50-50 on that one.
I'm 50-50 too. I love Jenny, but I think she's very, very loyal to Lisa, and Lisa likes her minions to do her dirty work.
Jenny actually had called me at some point in time and said, I'm very uncomfortable accepting this gift from Mary. What should I do? Whatever. And I said, Jenny, if you're really that bothered by it, return it to her, but do it one-on-one. And that was not what happened, obviously.
You know, to make things worse, she was like, this is actually a used item. It's in my closet.
What's wrong with that?
So I guess she got advice that she liked better from somebody else or took her own advice, either way.
I didn't feel good about it since Veil.
Oh, thank
I
you.
you didn't have to buy anything for me.
They were already bought, baby.
And I think it's the right time and place to give her back. I didn't want it to do it back then because I don't want to be emotional about it. I want to be able to clearly talk to her, which I did. And she's like, I never worn it. It doesn't matter whether you wear it or not. It was bought for you. You're re-gifting it. I don't want to accept something that it wasn't for me. She brought them for Jen. And then she said, those were in my closet sitting there. I have my shopper bought it in New York, and it was not my style. So I thought it's something for you, which is totally false. That's a lie, because she doesn't even know my style. She don't even know anything about me, Mary.
She's like, well, I'm offended because these shoes were for Jen. Well, Lisa had to have told her that those shoes were for Jen because Lisa was the only one that knew that.
Who told you that the shoes were meant for Jen?
Lisa.
Jenny was brought on through Lisa. And I strongly believe, like, if you have a friend and a friend introduces you to their friend and that friend treats you rude, it's coming from the friend that introduced you to that person. For me, that's what I believe. I don't introduce you to someone and then they treat you mean unless I had to have passed that energy on to them or said something to them. And for me, I don't give her oxygen. I don't even care. She's just mean to me. She's mean to, like, and I'm not saying to me, like a victim mean to me. She's a mean person. She's mean-spirited. And she doesn't mind it. And maybe that's just who she displays to me. But I don't surround myself with people like that.
Either way, it was a badass move.
It was a badass move. Props to Jenny.
Yeah.
Props to Jenny.
At Whitney's Rebrand event, Jenny has a bit of a surprise for you.
At Vail, you handed me a gift, but the way it was given to me, with my culture, it was very insulting because it was like a re-gift.
I'm not your charity case. I can afford my own goddamn shoes. For me, it's like it has to be genuine. Either it's $1 I would appreciate, or $1 million I would appreciate. It doesn't matter the value of the gift. It has to come from the heart. And it's insulting in my culture for you to go in your closet, pick something out for somebody else, and then, oh, by the way, she's not here, I'm going to give it to you.
It's insulting to give someone a used item.
But they're not used. They're brand new. Jennie did my makeup when we were in Vail, and I gave her shoes in return because I always feel like when you do something, I need to do something back. I just have that. My brain's like that. I just want to give you something back. I was trying to go back home to Salt Lake without so much luggage because I feel like I brought a lot of presents. I brought a lot of clothes that we didn't even get to wear because we brought clothes to wear, those little outfits and the skating out. So, I was just trying to kind of make my load lighter. I like to give gifts. It just feels good to give. And I feel like when they came to the cooking class, I wanted to give them a gift and I had the gifts in my car. And no one offered to help me bring the bags in. And so I'm like, I'm not going to go to my car and grab all the gifts and the bags and the aprons and bring all this in. And they're all sitting in there like, and since they didn't offer to help me to bring the gifts in, I didn't bring them in. So I took them to Vail with me. And I was really kind of like unloading and I didn't want to have to pack all those things back. They were actually things in my closet that I didn't want or didn't need, or I just felt like looked like one of the girls.
That was the best part, is learning that they were all like secondhand gifts, like not a big deal, but it is funny. It is really funny. Because you're just kind of like, I wonder where this purse has been.
Yeah. I mean, just to keep it in the bag in the box doesn't mean that you haven't taken out for a few dinners.
I didn't go out and buy anything. It was just things that I had that was new that I probably had for years, or timeless pieces that I felt like I wanted to give it to them. Because sometimes you just have too much. It's like stuff. And my closet looked neater because there's things missing, and so I gave Jennie those shoes. I loved them. And then she decides to give them back. And I was annoyed and exhausted and just thought to myself, girl, who gives Christian Louboutins back?
You didn't want these?
No, it wasn't meant for me, Jen.
And so I'm like, well, there's Jen right there. Since it's against your culture, give them to Jen. And she gave them to Jen. And I was like, okay, now what else? Easy fix. It's just another annoyance, just another situation that I don't think I deserve to be in. And clearly you're trying to find a moment. And I'm just over it. So that's how I feel about that night.
You and Whitney were not in a good place after Vail.
I was going to ask you, and I was going...
You're exhausting. Bring your head down, babe. You're nobody.
What made you want to go to her rebranding event?
I didn't.
How are you feeling about tonight after everything we left on?
Wasn't planning on coming tonight.
I know the feeling.
The reason why I did come is because I gave you my word.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I just didn't feel like being bothered. But when I got there, it certainly wasn't rewarding. Like there was no one to take my coat.
Is there someone that can take my coat?
I'll do cheetah.
Like, is there like service here?
It was unattended. And then the nude, you had to wear like a certain color. She's like, wear blush or nude. I felt like my dress was blush and nude, but I don't think it was good enough. Because I was asked, why didn't you wear the dress code? And I was like, well, I am in the dress code. So I don't like parties that assign you to wear a certain color. What if you don't have it? What if you don't have nude? It's just, for me, that's not fun. And then she was 2 hours late. So she got there at like maybe 10 o'clock at night.
It was everything I could have hoped for, with the exception of my dress ripping, making me over an hour late.
Who does that? Who comes to their party 2 hours late? To their own party? Well, she did look pretty though. So I guess that was worth it. I mean, if she had came in a bad outfit, I think I'd really been mad. But yeah. And then by the time she got there, like there was no food. See, there I go to the food.
I didn't get to go do the pre-event walkthrough to make sure the flowers were where I wanted them. I invested a lot in plants, the floral wall, like all the decor, the bar, the food. I didn't get to go to make sure it was how I had imagined it.
it felt unkept. It felt undone, and it felt learned on how to host an event.
I showed up late to my own event, but it was beautiful. It felt so good to just take ownership of my business and my brand in front of everyone, especially the people who have hated on it. It felt so good to raise a glass of champagne with them and say thank you for getting me here.
And who?
Lisa and Jen. Jen last year made fun of my business for about 9 solid months, and she in fact started Shaw Beauty. I think at the time I thought it was just to threaten me, but now we know it could have been other reasons, business related.
You can literally dump $1 million into a startup and claim zero profit for almost 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Wild Rose Beauty rebrand event, the two of you get together to take care of some last-minute details.
Look at this. Whit, a month ago you did not have a logo, you did not have pillows, you did not have gift sacks, you were not planning an event. So you need to take a breath and reward yourself.
Well, I just wanted to say I am so proud of Whitney, because when our friendship went from just being like peripheral friends to like truly like soul sisters is when she had a skin issue and she came to Beauty Lab. And that's kind of when you started like saying, I'm doing my own line, because she had been going to these experts and she was still struggling with her skin. And Wild Rose Beauty, I am so supportive of it being her name, her identity, because it is a phenomenal skincare line. Beauty Lab's never even developed their own skincare line because it is so big of an undertaking financially and just, liability wise. And she has nailed it. And it's going to be a huge success. And I'm thrilled to watch where it goes.
It meant so much to have Heather there because she has been my biggest cheerleader through all of this. She is the first one to carry my line. She's supported me. And she's seen me through all of these losses, through all of these challenges with business partners. Anytime I've had to do hard things like fire my best friend. And like Heather was the person that I called to keep me on track and to be my cheerleader and to help. Like, she's my mentor. Like, she's built an amazing brand. She's brilliant with her marketing. Like, she's taught me so much about what it takes to be a mom and build a business. Like, we're just two women who are chasing our dreams and figuring it out as we go.
And I think it's given Whitney insight also to my life, because she's like, holy shit, how do you do it alone? You know? And I think it builds a lot of empathy and compassion, because I mean, we throw around the term single mom a lot, but it is a lot, it's a lot.
Yeah. And Heather is a badass. Like, I'm gonna cry. Like, she's a superhero cloaked as a housewife, because when I need help, I can call Justin, and Heather has to figure it out. Like, she has to literally spread herself so thin, and she does it with such grace. And like, I admire Heather so much, and she deserves so much, because I honestly don't know how you do it.
Well, with great friends like you, that's how I get it. That's how I do it. Truly.
Your girls are so lucky to have you. I think that I love watching your dynamic with Ashley, because I have my little Bobby, and I love to watch that. Like, it can be done. A woman can have it all and do it herself. And Heather is paving that path for us and teaching us how. And it's so amazing because we're doing it together. Like, I'm just grateful she went first so that she can tell me what to do and not to do.
We see you have a heart-to-heart with your mother where she opens up about supporting you during this time.
My mom has gone above and beyond, and my mom's like, listen, I don't need anything. I just need a place to stay. I'll sell the house, I'll sell properties, I'll cash out my retirement.
It made me cry, when you were like, I'm gonna cash out my retirement accounts.
You are innocent, and I'm gonna do whatever I can, and I'll tell you what, how can I enjoy life if things don't go right for you? You know what I'm saying?
To have her actually say, here, you can have everything because I believe in you and I know you didn't do this. And That was hard because I don't want to take anything away from my mom, and I don't want her to have to hurt and go through this, you know? My mom will break down and she's like, she'll be at meetings with the attorneys and she's like, let me just trade places with Jen, please. Let me do this, not her, you know? And I'm saying that so people can understand like the gravity of the situation. It's not just me dealing with this. It's my family, and they've done nothing to deserve, you know, any of this. Our family's going through this because of me. And the emotional burden, the, you know, financial burden, the social, everything that's coming to us, you know, like our family is a well-known family in Salt Lake City. Everybody knows Coach Shaw. Everybody knows our family. We're like a cornerstone family here in Salt Lake. And so I felt like if I'm not bringing anything but positive vibes and good to my family, I feel like it's a burden.
It's a burden because of what happened, but I'm telling you, I knew nothing of this.
That was a really hard time right after everything happened. Just trying to navigate through everything and really changing how I operate. And I had to ask for help. I had to. And then, you know, having to put down, you know, 7-figure cash retainer immediately, you know, you have to adjust and make some adjustments. And to me, I felt like that's a burden on my family because we worked so hard to get to be able to not only help our immediate family, but our extended family and others. And then now we have to take the money that we've set aside to like now put towards this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like if your family's going to go through some shit, you don't want it to be because of you, you know? And so that's why I felt like I was being a burden.
Whitney, as you voice your concern about some insensitive and inappropriate comments amongst the ladies, Merideth takes it in a different direction.
We've got to stop saying things like that to each other.
100%, and it goes well beyond prejudice. Well beyond.
What does that even mean? What do you mean?
Okay, Merideth, where are we going? What's this?
I was, in all honesty, very disappointed in seeing how some people who purport to be friends of Jen were treating her. And Jen, you and I have our issues, but it was wrong, and I was upset.
To me, from an outsider's perspective, it felt like there was a lot of, you know, I'm Jen's friend to her face, and not when she walks away, and not true support. At least from some of the women.
Everybody was talking.
Everybody was talking to you.
It was big news. It was the big thing about dinner. It was everybody was talking about it.
Yes.
I do believe she needs friends. I am not the one who's going out and about telling people not to be friends with each other. That's not what I do. That's not my thing. And I do think she needs a friend. And given everything that had transpired between me and Jen and my family and Jen and all the information that had been thrown at me, I knew I could not possibly be that kind of a friend to her.
She needs support and friends, and I can't be that right now.
Why can't you be my friend?
Because I have too much pain.
And so in my view, out of kindness, it's nicer to say, no, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. I can't stand up for you the way you need somebody to.
Do I love Merideth? Yes. Did I agree with her in that situation? 2,000% no. You know, Mary made inappropriate comments to Jennie.
I like the slanted eyes.
And she made an inappropriate comment about Jen to me and literally like insulted a culture.
When I think about Jen, I see a thug. Like, you know, those Mexican people.
This is the time to address it. Let's not bring it up in a week from now or tomorrow. And then Merideth, it's like you're defending this person's negative behavior over and over again.
I mean, it's just something I wouldn't say. I don't know if it would be offensive or not.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
And turning a blind eye to it. But then in the same breath, she's saying, I can't be a friend to Jen, but you all should be. I thought it was completely hypocritical of Merideth to do that.
I would make a statement in general, and everyone would take it like I was talking directly to them when I was making a general statement.
Who are you directing that at? Let's move forward. Just so I'm clear, like, who is that directed at? Because in that moment, you were saying you guys are attacking Jen. I never attacked Jen, and that was hurtful for me.
It just takes me back to the faux luncheon. Who didn't show up for Jen? The person that didn't show up for Jen is Mary.
I don't know any of the people that they asked me about.
You have no clue?
Merideth should have been directing that comment to Mary, not to any of us.
It felt to me like Lisa just wanted me to say, no, 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 Lisa, it's not you. And I wasn't ready to do that because I didn't know who it was. I'm not in those friendships. I don't understand Jen and Lisa's friendship. So I'm not going to speak on it one way or the other. I was speaking about an overriding feeling in general relating to the dynamics with Jen.
I get that she's just saying, listen, I'm in the clear, guys. Like, I drew a line in the sand and I'm on this side, but like, I see this woman struggling and hurting from an objective point of view. Someone needs to show up for her, but it's not going to be me. You know, so I understand why she was saying it, but I felt like it was also kind of like a warning shot to Lisa, like, hey, sis, remember when you sacrificed our sister-like relationship of decades to, cultivate a relationship with Jen? Now's the time that you need to answer to what you've done.
I feel like everybody is reading things at the worst level. I could look at somebody and say, have a good day. And it could be interpreted as me telling someone to have a good day. And it could be interpreted as me telling someone to off. And that's what's going on with this group overall, is like, it doesn't matter what you say because somebody is turning it in a negative light in their own mind, even if it wasn't intended that way. And sometimes it is intended that way.
I took it as kind of like a little bit of a message to Lisa that she better show up for Jen right now. Like, you don't get to jump ship with me because I drew my line in the sand a long time ago, but you chose to like kind of hurt me in order to befriend Jen. So if you befriended Jen, be a friend.
That is such good insight, Heather, because I just kind of took it as like, I don't even know what this means, but that, I think you just nailed it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
After Merideth and Mary leave the table, Heather, you make an observation to Lisa about her friendship with Merideth.
You can't let Mary come between you and Merideth. You cannot.
Is she? I mean,
yeah,
is she?
Right now, yeah.
I was just observing the situation. I want all of us to get along, all of us to be friends, women to actually show up for other women. And there's history with Merideth and Lisa. I mean, deep history, and I've been witness to it. I mean, I've been friends to both Merideth and Lisa for years before the show started. So I couldn't believe that Lisa would sit there and let this happen.
I said, Jen's going to jail and you're next. I never said that, Mary Cosby.
I didn't lie. Don't call me a liar. I don't like that.
You lied
don't
about that because I did not say that. That is a lie. You said a lie.
Mary.
I mean, Merideth is watching Mary quip at me, be rude to me, and is protecting Mary. And that's Meredith's choice. But I'm like, I'm your friend too, Merideth, and I've had Meredith's back. Like, I knew how badly Merideth was hurting with her situation with Jen. And to me, the only reason I inserted myself in that was to help Merideth get to a place of peace where she could actually sleep again. And after ice fishing, Merideth called me and she said, thank you so much, Lisa. That was the first time I've slept in months. And I didn't want to be in the middle. Like, I have very different friendships and relationships with Merideth and Jen. And I just felt like Merideth was treating me badly to protect Mary. Mary's behavior is indefensible.
And you said, I like your beautiful slanted eyes.
I love slanted eyes.
How can you keep defending it?
Did anyone else know that's offensive?
It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate.
Really? I mean, it's something I wouldn't say. I don't know if it would be offensive or not.
You'll notice I always chase after Merideth. I always want to make sure Meredith's okay, but it's not reciprocated.
We gotta talk, because I'm like so upset.
Yeah, you are continually attacking me and yelling at me, and it's not boding well for me.
Oh, okay. Fine, Meredith. I'm not chasing again.
I was just so irritated with all of it. Like it was enough. I had felt all this tension going on with Lisa. I felt like everything at that point between her and I was always just ending in a fight.
Somebody's got to have my back. This is upsetting to me. It is
I'm saying it's all of us, including me. I don't know what you're getting upset about. I've stood up for you. Don't go there.
I had just had enough. I was like just irritated with everything and over it, you know? And I just wanted I wanted the night to end. I wanted to be done. I wanted to have some fun and stop with the fighting.
Isn't that funny that you're like coaching them through
Yeah, we're coaching Meredith and Lisa to be friends.
Yes. But that just shows you how unique our friend group is. You know, this is a very dynamic friend group.
It is.
What inspired you to rebrand Iris and Beau into Wild Rose Beauty?
I started Iris and Beau 5 years ago, and it has taken me this long to feel comfortable in my own skin and trust myself as a business woman and leader. So I bought out my business partner, and I'm changing the name because there's stronger brand recognition to me. I own it. It is me. It is my brand. So it's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time, a lot of risk. I don't think people realize truly when you set out to start a skincare line, because I developed the line from scratch, from nothing. Concepted the entire line, the name. I had to go find customers. I have affiliates who sell for me. To see what I've accomplished over the 5 years is truly amazing, and I want to honor that, and that's really what the rebrand is all about, is celebrating my success and me branching out into the world on my own without a business partner. The hardest part about all of this is the financial side of it.
I've applied to do $1 million line of credit.
I have 0 investors. I have 0 debt. I have bootstrapped this entire thing. I have self-funded my business. And Justin is my biggest investor. Even though it is our money, I was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I would work, but Justin obviously is the one that makes the significant money. And for him to take our nest egg and invest it in me. I mean, this man, all of his savings, all of our extra money, everything we have, he has poured into me and my business. And truly, until this year, he's had nothing to do with it. Like, he's just allowed me to go out and fulfill my dreams and chase this big ambition that I had down. And so it was really hard to sit down and be like, take a step back and look at, like Heather said, how much money I have dumped into this.
We've officially gone through our entire savings.
And sometimes you don't see the return until year 10. I mean, I lost a lot of money with that deal. So I got into the bag, and then my lids were leaking. So I lost the deal. I lost our entire savings. And to sit down with Justin and realize that, you know what? Maybe I don't have a grasp on the money. Maybe I really don't understand what this takes. Maybe I need an investor. Should I take out a line of credit so we stop hitting the family funds? Those are such uncomfortable conversations with your husband, because those are the things that are make or break a relationship. The only thing people fight over are usually money and sex, right? Like, those are the things that people get divorced over. And so it was very difficult because I felt ashamed, one. I felt like I let him down, I let the family down, and I just really wanted him to know that despite all the losses, like, I am stronger than ever, and those losses were lessons, and we're going to turn those into returns. And I'm rambling now, but Justin is the most supportive husband. He has my back, like, even when, quite honestly, he probably shouldn't. It was difficult to navigate. I'm the heartbeat of my family. If I'm not doing it, it's not going to get done. And it's really fun to watch Justin step up and do it, because that man is folding laundry, he's doing dishes, he now knows how to cook eggs. Like, he has really stepped up, and it has brought this balance to our family that we didn't really realize we needed.
Lisa, this season we joined your family for a major milestone. Your baby Jack goes off to prom.
Let's get some good pictures, memories.
All right.
Let me get a couple
Oh,
without you.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Lisa can't get in the picture? Lisa, who's going to prom?
It's another reason why I'm so sensitive today. He's so much closer to leaving me. I'm like, literally, it's going through a myriad of emotions with that too.
That's a spinoff, though. It's Lisa and Jack go to college together.
Yes. He just wants to go be independent, build his business, and take care of himself. And you know I'm going to be showing up at college for Jack. Like, he will have the most amazing condo. He wants to go to Miami or Duke. I will be there personally with the team to manage moving in, setting up. Of course, I'll be visiting him. And it's today is Jack's birthday. And like, I cannot wait to celebrate him. Today is Jack's 17th birthday. Like, oh my gosh, he is everything. My firstborn. He's the most special, amazing kid. And like, well, today's his day. Aww. I have a 17-year-old. What? This is crazy.